Hello everybody and welcome to today's session where we're going to be covering percentages. So percentages means that it's out of 100. So for instance, you go to, I'm sure all of you will shop in Jewson's and they always say to you, it's however much plus the VAT, which is 20%. So you add on that VAT, but we'll come to that later. So let's start off with an easy number. So we've got 400. So if someone says to you, oh, what's 50%, 25%, 10%? I'm going to help you know now. So let's work through it. 50% of 400. That just means what's half. Okay, so half of 400 is 200. Okay, if we say 25%, now 25 is half of 50, so that just means we have to half the 200, so that is 100. Okay, but then if they say what's 10%, let's move over here, 10%, then you've just got to move that decimal. So I always say, put a decimal at the end. Always say pounds and pence, because it just makes things easier. So if they say what's 10%, you straight away just move that decimal there. Okay, so that'll give you 40. And then you can work off that, then you can get your 5%. Okay, which is just half of 10. So half your 40, and that'll give you 20. Okay, they might turn around and say, you know, you're going to get a 1% pay rise, or, you know, so let's see how we can get 1%. Okay, so you move the decimal to find your 10%, right? So we're just going to write 10 there, just to let you know. And then move the decimal again to give you your 1%. All right, that's all you do, is that move that decimal again. So 1% of 400 is 4. So working off that and these numbers then, someone might say to you, well, what's 30% of 400? So let's see if we can work this out now. Let's just write 30% up here so we know what we're working with. So 30% of 400. Now there's several ways here. I'm going to change my pen colour now. There is several ways here that you can make 30%, and everybody works differently. So I'm just going to show you a few different methods. Now, some of you, I'll think, right, 25% add 5%. So you've got your 100 and your 20. I'll give you 120, right? That's 30%. So we write 120 up here. Now, there's other ways to do it as well. You might think, oh, 10%. What's 3 times 40? So 40 times by 3, I'll give you 120. So that's another way to do it. Or if you wanted to again, then you can do your 1% and just times your 1% by 30. So 30 times by 4, I'll give you 120. So there's several ways that you can find that 30%, okay? So let's just go back a bit. I'm going to make things a little bit more difficult now. Let's get rid of this. Okay. Okay, let's think of another number then. If someone turns round to you and says, what's 27% of 400? This might come up in your exam. 27% of 400. So again, there's several ways you can be doing this. I've said all along, I don't mind which way you do it, as long as you come up with the answer, that's brilliant. So instantly, for me, I go 25% is 100. Where am I going to find that 2%? Well, there's 1% there, so I could do 4 twice. 4 plus 4 is 8. So 27% is 108. Or you could look at your 25 and your 5%, and then you could minus 3%. Okay, or you could even do 27 times 4. Let's just do it. I'm going to do the column method this time. Times by 4. 7 4's 8. 28, sorry. 2 4's are 8. And the 2, 10. So it'll give you 108. So there's several ways of finding these percentages, okay? Let's try one more thing. Okay. So let's say you're going into Jewson's and they say that your bill is £340 plus the VAT. Now VAT at the moment is 20%. Okay. So first of all, you've got to find your 20% of 340. So we need to get rid of these numbers now because they're for 400. So let's go through these percentages then. Remember what I said, £340 plus the VAT. So first of all, I'm going to put in £340 and no pence. Make it easy. Put the decimal there. So 10%, I'm going to move that decimal. That's going to give me £34. Okay, 34 is 10%. Okay, if I want to find 20%, I'm going to double that. So 34 add 34 is 68. So 68 gives you your 20%. All right. So what I'm going to do now, if they say £340 plus the VAT, you need to go £340 plus £68. 4 and 6 is 10. Carry the 1. 3 and 1 is 4. So your total bill comes to £408. Okay. Let's just look at this again. Let's look at it another way. So let's say you're buying a pair of jeans for £340. But today's offer is 15% off. So you need to look at this, £340. So remember what I said, you write down your £340 and no pence. So what you need to do is find your 10%, 34. And remember what I said, to find 5%, you could just half the 10, okay? So half of 10 is 5, and then half of 34 is 17, okay? Carry the 1, 5. So 15% of 340 is 51. So you take your jeans to the counter and then, you think, how am I going to work this out? £340 minus your £51. Remember, you're taking it away this time because there's percent off. So 0 take away 1, you can't do it. That turns into a 3, you're borrowing 1. 10 take away 1 is 9. 3 take away 5, again, you've got to borrow. So 13 take away 5 is 8. And you're left with your 2. So instead of paying £340, you're going to pay £289. Okay, so I'm just going to put a percentage up now for you to try, because remember, best way of learning for your exam is to test yourself. So let's have a look here. So we've got £450, and what I want to know is what is 35%? So I'm going to give you a little bit of time now to work it out before we go through it. Okay, right, let's go through this then. So our first thing that we need to do is write down £450 and 0 pence. What is 35%? So the first thing you need to be doing is find your 10%. Okay, remember how to do that? We move that decimal. So that'll give you £45. Okay, but we need 35%. So I know that 45 times by 3, that's going to give me my 30%. So 3 5s are 15, carry the 1, 4 3s are 12, add the 1, 13. So 30% is 135, but don't forget now, you need an extra 5%. So that's going to be half of 45. So if you're not sure, just divide that 45 by 2. Okay? 4 divided by 2, 2 goes into 4 twice. 2 goes into 5 twice with a remainder of 1. So that needs a decimal there with a 0. Okay, 2 goes into 10 5 times. So it's 22.5. But because we're dealing with money, we always put that 0 because it's a 50p. Okay, so what you need to do now, and be very careful that you don't get your digits wrong, you need to add that £22.50 on to the 135. So you know it's something 50p. 5 plus 2 is 7, 3 plus 2 is 5, and then you won. Okay, so 35% of 450 is 157. Okay, so that's it for today's session. If you've got any questions, drop me a message or come and see me in class where we'll be covering a lot more of these percentages.